What's up, my comic comrades? It's been quite a while since we last talked about some anime here on the show. So today, we're talking about one of the coolest aspects in all of anime, and that would be the Super Saiyan transformation from Dragon Ball Z. It's easily one of the most popular and loved topics among anime fandom, to the point that it's literally become a pop culture reference to express that a character is extremely powerful. I use it all the time myself. Like if I see a character beat down another, I might say, that dude just went Super Saiyan on him. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, today we're gonna break down the history of the Super Saiyan, talk about its legend, how it works, and several of the different forms. And speaking of Dragon Ball, we want to thank Crunchyroll for sponsoring today's episode. Crunchyroll is well known throughout geekdom as the best place to find the most epic and popular anime and manga. And that's because Crunchyroll brings in the best new anime from Japan and currently offers more than 90% of all officially licensed anime content in the world. I'm talking about a lineup that includes classic animes like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and let's not forget about Dragon Ball Super, the franchise today's episode is based on. But in addition to the classics, Crunchyroll also features most newer fan favorites like Attack on Titan, One Punch Man, Dr. Stone, and one of my personal favorites, My Hero Academia, which is currently in the middle of season 5 and it's dope. And if that's not enough, they also have awesome Crunchyroll original series like Tower of God, Onyx Equinox, and The God of High School, just to name a few. Altogether, Crunchyroll is the most authentic anime experience you could find outside of Japan, which is why it boasts a global community of 45 million registered users and over 2 million subscribers. And right now you can go to crunchyroll.com/variantcomics or click the link in the description to get a 14-day free trial of Crunchyroll Premium. As a premium member, you get unlimited ad-free access to Crunchyroll's insane library of anime, manga, and drama titles. We're talking about over 30,000 episodes, people, all of which are professionally subtitled and in 1080p HD. With Crunchyroll Premium, you'll also get access to the newest episodes as soon as 1 hour after they air in Japan via simulcast. And you can take in all of that glorious content across all your devices, including Xbox, PlayStation, Apple TV, Roku, Android, and iOS. Trust me when I tell you, if you're a fan of anime and manga on any level, you should be watching Crunchyroll. So again, go to crunchyroll.com/variantcomics or click the link in the description to set up your 14-day free trial of Crunchyroll Premium. And once you do, come back here and let us know what shows you're watching in the comment section. And now let's jump into one of our favorite animes of all time with the history of the Super Saiyan. The Super Saiyan form first appeared in April of 1991 within Chapter 317 of the Dragon Ball manga titled Life or Death. It would make its anime debut in 1991, first appearing in Dragon Ball Z, episode 95, titled Transformed at Last. So it's no wonder so many of us 90s kids love Super Saiyan so much, since they were created at the very start of it. For those of you wondering who is responsible for the creation of the Super Saiyan, that would be Akira Toriyama, the creator of the entirety of the Dragon Ball universe. But enough of the first appearances and who created it, let's dive into the legend of the Super Saiyan with origins. The Super Saiyan transformation was once thought to be legend because one had not been seen in over 1,000 years. As Vegeta told us in Dragon Ball Z, according to legend, the last Super Saiyan could only maintain his status in the transformed ape state. His power was extraordinary and he had no equal in the universe, but he was too primitive to control it. His rage burned so intensely that it eventually consumed him. And in the end, he was destroyed by his own power. The Saiyan Vegeta was talking about was Yamashi. After his death, he was known as the Super Saiyan God, or the original Super Saiyan. Anyway, even though the Super Saiyan transformation was only a legend, Frieza, who had Saiyans in his army, became extremely paranoid of the possibility of the legend being true. Because if it was true and a Super Saiyan arose, they would be able to overthrow him. So Frieza was like, yo, God of Destruction Beerus, do I have permission to kill all the Saiyans? And after receiving informal permission, Frieza went on to kill the Saiyan race by destroying their home planet, Vegeta. With this, Frieza thought he had brought an end to the Super Saiyan legend. But because there's always a but when it comes to these sort of things, 25 years later, the Super Saiyan legend proved not to be a legend, but truth, when Goku turned into a Super Saiyan for the first time while battling none other than Frieza. We all know where it goes from here. As a Super Saiyan, Goku was able to defeat Frieza, with him losing several of his limbs and apparently dying on planet Namek. I said apparently because, as all DBZ fans know, Frieza came back as a half android and eventually turned gold, essentially achieving his own version of the Super Saiyan as Golden Frieza. Now that's the legend of the Super Saiyan, but now let's talk a little bit about the transformation itself and how it works. Originally, it was thought that Saiyans achieved Super Saiyan form in response to a great need, like a fight or flight response. But we later found out that's not the case. But not only that, any Saiyan can become a Super Saiyan. What triggers it is a large amount of S cells inside of that Saiyan. What are S cells? microscopic cells found in most Saiyans. The amount of S cells a Saiyan has depends on the spirit of said Saiyan in question. For instance, the more gentle their spirit is, the larger amount of S cells they will have. Which explains why the kind-hearted Goku was the first Saiyan to turn Super Saiyan in quite a long time. But besides having a gentle spirit, when a Saiyan increases their fighting power, it also increases the amount of S cells they have. Basically what I'm saying is that S cells are essential to becoming a Super Saiyan, and once you have a certain amount of them, it'll transform you into a Super Saiyan. And like I said earlier, the way the Saiyans gain S cells is by having a gentle spirit or experiencing intense levels of sadness or anger, which explains why Goku is constantly reaching the next level of Super Saiyan before any other Saiyan, because he's the perfect combination of a kind-hearted gentle spirit, but also gets extremely angry when his friends or family are in danger. With all that said, we did also learn in Dragon Ball Super via Kaba that they can achieve this blonde-haired form by focusing their power in the upper back, which is described as a tingly sensation, at which point said Saiyan can trigger the transformation without the need of emotional stress. And needless to say, transforming into a Super Saiyan just by putting your power into a tingly back feeling has been quite controversial in the Dragon Ball community, but what are you gonna do? Now, this is usually the point in the history of episode where we would go through the story arcs of a character, but since we're talking about a transformation, that really isn't gonna work out so well. So instead, let's go through the several forms of Super Saiyans and learn a little bit about each of them. First up, we have False Super Saiyan, or FSSJ. We saw Goku take this form in the movie Dragon Ball Z Lord Slug, while Goku is fighting Lord Slug. In the False Super Saiyan form, Goku's irises and pupils are no longer visible. They become all white, kind of like Batman. He gets a little more bulkier and his hair straightens up like that of a Super Saiyan, but stays black. His skin also gets a yellow hue, and he gains a yellow aura all around him, which kind of resembles a Super Saiyan, but not. In essence, this is essentially a glorified Kaioken form. But this brings us to the first real Super Saiyan form, known as simply Super Saiyan, or SSJ. This is the form from legend, because remember, the original Super Saiyans have well been forgotten after a millennia, which is what made this a legend. Every Super Saiyan warrior has trained in hopes to become a Super Saiyan, although no one has ever achieved it, at least not in a very long time. That was until Goku did when he fought Frieza. When Goku reached this legendary form, his hair became blonde and stood straight up, with his eyes becoming a bluish green. But besides his look, and more importantly, his powers were multiplied by 50 in this form. Since we're so deep in Dragon Ball mythology by now, almost every Saiyan has reached this form, like Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, Broly, Bardock, Kaba, Goten, and so on. Then after this, you have Ascended Super Saiyan and Ultra Super Saiyan, and or ASSJ and USSJ. This form increases the Saiyan's strength but reduces their speed, hence the bulkier appearance. Although Goku did manage to perfect this transformation, giving him more speed but less power than the Super Saiyan transformation. It should also be noted that Vegeta and Trunks discovered this transformation while training in the hyperbolic time chamber. Ascended Super Saiyan and Ultra Super Saiyan are different, but really they're still kind of the same thing. Either way, Trunks most notably used the Ultra Super Saiyan form, which happened when he focused more on brute strength than speed, giving him a massive increase in strength, but it makes him incredibly slow. Moving on, we have Super Saiyan 2, or SSJ2. Clearly, this form, like every other next form, is stronger than the previous. Gohan was the first to reach this level, and he did so shortly after achieving Super Saiyan. Physically, Super Saiyan 2 looks almost identical to the Super Saiyan form, with slight changes to the hair. Power-wise, it doubles the power of a normal Super Saiyan. We also learned that the Super Saiyan 2 form can be upgraded and enhanced through training to become even more powerful than a normal Super Saiyan 3. The name for this upgrade is called Strengthened Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta achieved it through rage after seeing his wife Bulma slapped by Beerus. Next up, we have my all-time favorite Super Saiyan form, Super Saiyan 3, or SSJ3. For whatever reason, I've just always loved this form. I just think it looks cool, the long banana hair, caveman brow line, and overall bulkier physique. With that said, the Super Saiyan 3 form is extremely powerful but cannot be maintained for a long time. Appearance-wise, your eyebrows disappear and you get a more pronounced brow, the hair grows past the knees, and you become way more muscular. Goku is the first Saiyan to achieve this form, and the only others besides him were Trunks and Goten when they fused together as Gotenks. The Super Saiyan 3 form gives the Saiyan 4 times the power of the Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta actually skipped right over this stage and was never a Super Saiyan 3 in canon, only in the video games and the Dragon Ball Heroes web series. Which for me is personally a bummer. I would have loved to see him as a Super Saiyan 3 in canon. I mean, it's my favorite form. But the reason why you don't see it much or used by Goku often is because staying in this form drains the energy from the Saiyan, making them exhausted. Goku even said once that the Super Saiyan 3 form was only suitable for Otherworld, which is the afterlife in the Dragon Ball series, where the higher deities in the universe reside. Next up, we have Super Saiyan God, or SSJG. Now, some of you may be saying, whoa, what about Super Saiyan 4? You can't skip that one. Well, that's from Dragon Ball GT, which is not canon. But I will talk about that briefly towards the end after we talk about the canon transformations. So, as I was saying, Super Saiyan God, this is the next level of Super Saiyan after you surpass Super Saiyan 3. It was first achieved by Goku in the movie Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, which is what kicked off Dragon Ball Super. As a Super Saiyan God, Goku looks pretty much like his normal self, except his hair and eyes are now a reddish pink. This form allowed Goku to fight the God of Destruction Beerus when his Super Saiyan 3 form failed miserably, meaning it obviously gives him a massive boost in strength, but besides that, the Super Saiyan God form allows Goku to sense godly ki and absorb attacks by consuming ki. But there is a drawback to this form. It consumes a massive amount of energy, much like the Super Saiyan 3 form. But hey, it made Goku strong enough to fight a god. But he's not alone in this transformation. Vegeta was also able to reach the level of Super Saiyan God. Moving along yet again, we have Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or simply put, Super Saiyan Blue, aka SSB or SSGSS. Now you would be thinking that the Super Saiyan God is the peak because you're a god. But what happens if a god becomes a Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan Blue, that's what happens, because this is the Super Saiyan version of a Super Saiyan God, which of course was first achieved by none other than Goku through training. It looks very similar to the normal Super Saiyan, except his hair turns blue instead of blonde. This form gives the user an incredible amount of power, since, well, it's a Super Saiyan version of a Super Saiyan God, meaning it multiplies the Super Saiyan God form by 50. The Super Saiyan Blue form can also be increased further with the use of Kaioken. Next up, we have Berserker Super Saiyan, or BSSJ. This is a transformation exclusive to the Saiyan Kale, but it's very similar to the legendary Super Saiyan form in a lot of aspects, meaning the eyes go completely white and the body becomes way bigger and more muscular with a green aura. For those of you who are unaware, the legendary Super Saiyan form is an extremely powerful and rare Super Saiyan transformation. It's essentially a berserker state that seamlessly has an endless amount of energy. It's said to appear once every 1,000 years. The legendary Super Saiyan form was made famous by the Saiyan Broly. Now the last in-canon Super Saiyan form would be Super Saiyan Rose, or SSR. In layman's terms, all it is Goku Black's version of Super Saiyan Blue. Now who is Goku Black? Simple answer, Evil Goku. In this form, Goku Black's hair turns pink or rose gold, if you will, and again, he becomes as powerful as a Super Saiyan Blue. Now I know what some of you are saying, wait a minute, what about Ultra Instinct Goku? While it's incredibly powerful and the strongest version of Goku yet, it's not a Super Saiyan form. Thus, we are not covering it as this is a history of the Super Saiyan. But all this brings us to the non-canon Super Saiyan form, Super Saiyan 4, or SSJ4. This was supposed to be the final form of the Super Saiyan, which we only saw in Dragon Ball GT. Super Saiyan 4 was only ever achieved by Goku and Vegeta. In this form, the Saiyan's appearance becomes drastically changed, growing reddish pink hair, along with more muscle mass and long black hair. This form is obviously significantly stronger than a Super Saiyan 3. So much so, in fact, it's a big debate in the Dragon Ball community on whether Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than Ultra Instinct Goku. There's a lot of good cases to be made for both sides, but I ain't about to go down that rabbit hole. But there you go, friends, a brief history of the Super Saiyan. You now know its origin, its legend, and all of its forms. If you guys want some reading recommendations, of course, read the Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super manga, as well as watch both of the anime series. Short and simple, and to the point. And just like that, that brings today's episode of Variant to a close. But if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, as always, subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the channel out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when we talk about all things comics.